Notice this is lesson 5.5, yes? 5.1, one thing. 5.2, two things. 5.3, three things. 5.4, four things. And I need four things. Is there a connection? Maybe. Step 1. If I'm trying to solve a problem, that must mean there is some sort of unknown, yes? Now, there are many problems we could solve in the world, such as war, famine, drought. But that is not where we are. We are not in war, famine, drought 11. We are in pre-calculus 11, which is a math class, which means our unknowns must be numbers, yes? All right. So step 1, we must assign variables. Now, a great many of you sat through my word problems lesson in grade 10. It is sounding very similar because indeed it is math, and math is very similar to the next year's math and to the previous year's math. So we are going to assign variables. How do I decide what variables to assign? Well, I must say to myself, self, what am I counting? Because it's a math class, I must be counting stuff. Once I've decided what I am counting, I must give a variable to every single thing I am counting that I do not know. Okay? Now, right now, there are 27 of you in this room. Is that a variable? No. But if I were to blindfold myself and tell you to make a mean face at me because you hate my guts, some of you wouldn't do it because you would not want to lie. Some of you only mildly dislike me and do not hate my guts. But right now, some of you are making a face at me and some of you are not. Do I know how many are making the face? No. So what must I give it? A variable. FACE equals X. Some of you are not making a face. No face equals Y. Have I assigned variables? Did I need to even look at what I was doing? Oh, that's not very good. But I was able to do so, yes? Because there were two unknown things, so they got two variables. Everybody good? Remember how we asked why we're behind the other class? Surprise. Okay. What I am counting, and I assign variables to all. Yeah? Okay. Number 2. Since it's a math class, I need to design what must I design? What allows me to find the values of variables? An equation. I must design an equation to do what? To answer my unknowns. So, my previous question, there was X kids in the class making a face at me, Y kids in the class not making a face at me. How will I decide how to solve that? Well, the kids that made a face plus the kids that didn't make a face must equal what? 27, the amount of kids in the room at the time. Easy peasy. Does that equation allow me to start beginning to solve my problem? Excellent. So everybody understands that. Number 3, once I've designed the equation, what do you think I must do? Solve the equation. Now, since this is a math class, and I am trying to solve problems, what must I do once I have that solution? Does the solution answer my question? Does it? Because right here, I had a solution. Did it answer my question? No, why? Not quite. Why? Because this is the solution to the equation. Why didn't it answer my question? In real life, there can't be a negative width, right? So not only must I answer my question, I must do the fourth, which is apply the solution. Okay? Okay. Let's do it because we're brilliant and we can figure this out. Tim takes 4 hours to paint the room. Nice typing, Myers. It is my fault. That's why I just said nice typing, Myers. Man, I even insult myself faster than you guys do. All right. Tim takes 4 hours to paint a room. Takes Bob 3 hours to paint the same area of room. How long will it take to work together? Now, I've been teaching this class for many, many years. Normally, I pause right at that question mark. And always a bunch of kids, and I'm not lying, none of you, because you're way too smart to do this, a bunch of kids say it will take 7 hours. I'm not lying. They actually say it will take 7 hours to work together.
Oh, okay, now I know.
7 hours. It will take longer than both of them if they work together. I don't know. And I wait, and I look at the kids like this. And they go, yeah, 7 hours, 3 and 4, obviously. So as I was saying, you're going to stop for a moment now, and you're going to start applying what we need to do. What am I counting? I am counting a time, aren't I? Right? That is my unknown. Yes? Do I know how long it will take Tim? Yes. Do I know how long it will take Bob? Yes. So those are not unknown times, are they? What is unknown?
The total time that they
How long it will take to work together, yes? Yeah. So I know that Tim will take 4, Bob will take 3, and together they will take
something.
More or less than 4?
Less.
Less, some fraction of 4, yes? Everybody agree? Okay. So my unknown, T equals time. That's my unknown. Yeah? And I know that I am... What is the other thing that is being counted here? There's another number in there other than time that is being counted. Pardon?
People?
Area. What is the area that these two dudes need to paint? No, I need a number.
We don't know.
You do know. What number is A? 1. So I have my two numbers, don't I? They are going to paint one room. They are going to paint it together in a certain amount of time, yes? So I know that Tim time, because T is time, plus Bob time will equal how many rooms?
Wait, like, are the kids' time, like the full time,
They are painting a room together.
together will equal 1.
Will equal one room. Does everybody understand? Yes. Everybody agree? Now, Tim, to paint the whole room, takes how long?
4 hours.
4 hours to paint one room, yes? Bob will take 3 hours, correct? Hey, Mr. DeVries. If we were going to do a rate, that is a certain amount divided by a certain time, yes? All of you people are very comfortable with rates. You know them very well. What is a rate that you are all very comfortable with? How many of you drive? Ever in a car? Ever in a car? Excellent. And, no, that's what I said. That's why I said, how many of you drive ever in a car? If you were in a car, you were being driven, so therefore you are, okay? What is a rate that you are all well aware of in a car? Pardon me, Burke? 50 kilometers per hour, yes? So rates, we like to be divided by 1, yes? So if it takes him 4 hours to paint a whole room, that's 1 room in 4 hours. How much of that room will he paint in 1 hour? 1/4. So Tim, we know to do 1 hour, this guy is doing 1/4 of his time is 1 hour. Agreed? What's Bob? 1/3. Yes? Everyone agree? Now, if they work together, Tim's time is 1/4 T, right? Because 1/4 of Tim's time plus 1/3 of Bob's time will equal how many rooms how many rooms painted, not tidied? 1. Can I add those together? Not right now. Why? I need a common denominator. What is 1/4 times T? No, not 4T. What is 1/4 times T? T over 4. What is 1/3 times T? T over 3. Does everybody understand what has happened here? I'm trying to paint 1 room, correct? Tim will take 4 hours to paint the whole room. When he works together, is he painting the whole room? No, he is painting a fraction of the room. Bob is working with Tim. Is Bob painting the whole room? No, he is painting a fraction of the room, yes? Okay, so they will get that whole room painted with their fractions of time to paint the whole room. Because time plus time will paint the whole room, won't it? Everybody good? All right. What is my common denominator? 7. 12. So, what does this guy need? 3. What does this guy need? 4. What is 3t plus 4t? 7t over 12 equals, what did this guy need? 12. Yeah? 12 over 12, because that's still 1, correct? Do I care about the denominators anymore? Because they're all the same. So what's left? 7t equals 12. What does t equal? Well, it equals 12 over 7, yes? Is that an answer?
Yes.
Am I happy with that?
Yeah.
How else could you express that answer?
Make it to decimal.
You could make it into a decimal. Is that an okay answer?
Yes.
12 divided by 7 on your calculator is going to give you what? Pardon? 1.78. Is that how we measure time? Do you say, I will be there in 1.78 hours?
No.
No, so how else could you measure this? 1 hour? Then you could do 78 times, 0.78 times 60, right? That would give you your minutes. I don't care. 0.78 times 60 to get your minutes. I don't care about that part, do I? Who does care about how you write that answer?
Only you.
The person who's marking it, right? If you're doing a physics class and you want a speed that you're going to fall out of the airplane, would you give it as a fraction? No, you give it as a decimal, right? Everybody with me? All right. Let's see if we can apply it. Here's another question. My man James has a paper route. Takes him 40 minutes. Jeff does the same paper route every other day. They're lazy teenagers. They have one job. They've split it between the two of them. Jeff takes 50 minutes to do the route. How long will it take to do it together? Can the answer possibly be 90?
No.
No. Will some of you still say 90? Once or twice, and then I'll do this. You'll say, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it can't be 90. And your face will go red, and everything will be cool. So what is it? How many roots are they trying to do? 1. So James is doing some portion of the root, yes? How much?
40 minutes.
1/40th, right? So James, his time has been divided into 40ths, right? Because he takes 40 minutes to do the root. So the root must be divided into 40ths, right? In 1 minute, he's going to do 1/40th of the root. Everybody cool? Mm-hmm. What's John or Jeff? What's Jeff do? T over 50, because Jeff's root is split into 50ths. How many roots do they do when they work together? 1 root. 1 root. What's the common denominator?
200.
200. So what does this guy need? 5t. What does this guy need? 4t. Equals 200 over 200. Because that's 1, right? Mm-hmm. So what's 5t and 4t? 9t equals 200. How do I solve that? How do I solve that?
Oh, make 9.
Divide by 9, and t equals 22 point blah. I don't know what. 22 times 9, and then blah. 22.22? Am I happy with that answer? Sure I am. Because this is in physics class. What have you noticed that has been the same in both questions? Look at both questions. I'll shrink it down so you can see it all in one place, even though it's written on your page all in one place. Time was one of the variables, yes? The variable that we worked with. Okay. What else did you notice? I was always trying to get to a unit, right? Okay, let's see if we can stretch this out a little bit. Let's move on to number 3. Read the question. See if you can sort out just the variables in the equation. You don't have to work it out yet. Just see if you can sort it out. It's not sexist at all.
I know it's a meme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. I don't know memes because I'm old and gray-haired and fat. What this is real life.
Yeah.
Because any of you that has had a girlfriend who has something to do will try to get you to do it. Or vice versa. Maybe. I'll give you an example. As you all well know, when it snows and my driveway is covered with snow, what will my wife say that morning?
Go shovel the driveway.
No, she will not. She would not dream of telling me what to do. What will she say? No. Wrong again.
Please.
No. She will say, we need to shovel the driveway.
Oh.
Who does she mean?
You.
Me. We need to unclog the gutters. Who does she mean? Right?
My mom just straight up tells us.
That's nice.
My
Sure.
dad, my brother, go.
So, what do we know?
Okay, go. Let's go.
Is this the same question?
No.
No, it is not, is it? It's very close.
No, you can use the same structure.
Yes, because it's math. You can use the same structure. How long does it take Kyra to mow her part of the lawn if they work together?
For 24. Together?
No. How long does it take Kyra to do her part of the
20
lawn?
minutes.
1/40th. T over 40, correct? Everyone agree?
Yes.
How long does it take the boyfriend? Let's call him Billy Bob. How long does it take Billy Bob? Does it take him a certain amount of time?
No, we don't know.
We don't know. So I need how many variables here? 2. Billy Bob's time and what?
Heroes.
I don't know this, do I? What? You want to make it Q? No problem. And what is their together time?
24 minutes.
Equals 24. Now, when we knew them, we added them up to get 1, correct? So what do I do here?
24 over 40.
What do I know? Before I do any math, I know that Kyra plus Billy Bob
Equals together.
equals what?
Together.
Equals what time? 24. What's Kyra's time?
We're
T over 40. What's Billy Bob's time?
TQ.
T over Q. What's that equal?
24.
Can I solve that?
Yeah.
What's my common denominator? 40Q. What does this guy need? Q. Hey, Mr. Hirschman. I am great. What is T times Q?
40T.
No. No, he's already got the 40. I need the Q. What is T times Q?
TQ.
TQ. You keep that on the QT.
I was waiting for cutie. Nobody said cutie. You have
Plus, what do I need?
You have Torah? Are you the Torah guy still?
Yeah. But I don't think Betty has brought it to me yet. Or is that it? Yeah, apparently it's the same stuff. There you go. You go, guy. What does middle guy need?
14.
40. 40T equals what? What did this guy need?
Everyone.
He needed 40 and
Q.
40 and Q. What's 24 times 40? 960 what?
Q.
Q. Now what?
We don't need a denominator.
I don't need a denominator, do I?
Yeah.
So gone. What have I got? TQ plus 40T equals what? Okay. Now stop for a moment and let's think about this. Have we done this correctly?
Yeah.
Look at that and tell me if we have done it correctly. What is wrong with what we have here? Is that soluble?
No,
Why not?
because there's still the.
There's no squareds and there's 2 variables. So we have not done it correctly. Where can we fix this? What have we done wrong? I'll give you a hint. It's in this line. Something in there is wrong. What? What are these fractions of? Time, right? When you add fractions together, you are trying to get to what number? How many lawns are these people washing? Or washing a lawn. I'm out there with my brush and soap. This lawn is dirty as hell. Man, look at that. I keep scrubbing. It just keeps getting dirtier. So, what is it? What's our problem here?
1.
It needs to be what, Ayaka?
It needs to be 1.
It can't be 24, can it? Because these are fractions of the ln.
So 1 over 24.
Not 1 over 24. Just 1. So, what does this now become? Not 960q, what is it? 40q. Everybody see? Now are we better? Now are we better? Okay, so now what do I have? Now what do I have? TQ plus, not plus 40t. Well, I could do 40t. Equals 40q, right? Does it still look bothersome?
Yes.
Okay. But one of those numbers we know, don't we? What do we know? We know t, but is it 1?
No. 24.
What's t?
24.
Why? Because that's their time together to do how many lawns?
1
One lawn. So we know that t is 24. So what can I put right there?
24.
What can I put right there?
24.
24
40.
equals what?
The same.
40q, right? So now I can do this super easy, yeah? What is it? There's that 960. Hey, it's back. What should I do with this 24q? Move it to the other side to get what? 16q. Then what do I do? Divided by 16. So what's q equal? What? 960 divided by 16 is 384? 60. So how long will it take the boyfriend to do it by himself, since she's probably only going to sunbathe next time anyway?
16 minutes.
60 minutes. Is the math complicated? Is setting up the math complicated?
Yes.
Very much so. Right? They are two completely different skills, aren't they? Okay, let's look at the next one. Read the question, and let's think about it. Now, this is a little bit tricky because it expects you to know a little bit of prior knowledge, yes? The river. The giant river right over there. Okay. It's not funny. Don't be that way. This requires some prior knowledge, yes? You got to bring something to the party. What do you know about speed?
24 kilometers.
No. In general. Pardon me? How fast you travel in what? How fast I travel in a hovercraft? In whatever I'm in. Thank you, Gabriel. What is it? You need a time, right? Or you don't have a speed. So speed equals distance divided by time. And if you can't remember that, all you got to do is think about driving. What's the speed limit? 50 kilometers per hour. Kilometers divided by hours. Distance over time. Everybody cool? In this question, do I have a distance? Yeah, how far has he got to travel? 24 kilometers. Right? Everyone agree? Okay. Let's see if we can set this up. Once we know this, do we know how to find all the rest of them? All right. If speed equals distance divided by time, what does distance equal? Speed times time. And what does time equal? Distance divided by speed. Is everybody cool there? Is it fair of me to expect you to be able to understand the stuff on the left of the screen? We all know what speed is, yeah? All right. So, now what do I know? Tell me some knowledge I know from the question. Okay, we got a distance of 24 kilometers. Agreed. What else do I know? The whole trip, T equaled 9 hours. What else do I know? The speed of the current equals 2 kmh. Yes? Everyone okay? How many parts of his trip are there? 2. There's going there and coming home, yeah? All right. So, there's 2 parts to his trip. He's going there, he's coming home, yeah? So there's downstream, and then he's got to turn around and paddle upstream, correct? Everyone agree? And in both of those trips, is there a distance? What is it? 24 and 24. Agreed? Is there a speed?
Yes.
What is it?
2 kilometers.
When he's going downstream, the current is helping him, yes? So is that plus or minus?
Plus.
The current is helping him.
Yes, it's plus.
If I'm swimming downstream or paddling a boat downstream, is the water making me go faster or slower?
Faster.
Faster. So, do you guys know Jamie's speed?
No.
What is his rowing speed without the current? Is that my unknown?
Yes.
So what should I give it?
I think like
A variable. What would be a good variable?
A.
I would use S myself for speed, but whatever. You guys want to use X? We can use X. Even though we've got DST over here, we can use X. Do we have to use X?
S.
Thank you. What is what is Jamie's speed? Do we know?
No.
S plus 2. Why is it plus 2? The current's helping him. What's his speed coming home?
S minus.
S minus 2. And lastly, there's a time. What does time equal?
9 hours.
No. What does time equal? Do I have a distance? Do I have a speed?
Yeah.
So what is his time?
24.
24 over
Plus 2.
S plus 2. Do I have a distance? Do I have a speed? So what's his time?
24 over S minus 2.
Now, if that's his downstream trip and that's his upstream trip, what math must I do to find out his total time?
Plus.
I must add them to get a total time of what?
9 hours.
9 hours. And now, what's my equation? 24 S plus 2 plus 24 S minus 2 equals 9. How will I solve it? I'm not going to solve it. That's going to be your first piece of work, because that's not the new stuff, is it? That's what we've just spent the last 4 days doing. Turn the page over.
Plus you.
Is this the same type of question? So as soon as I see distance, speeds, and times, what should I remember? Speed equals distance over time. Time equals distance over speed. And distance equals speed times time, correct? Okay, what don't I know? Write down all the stuff I know. What do I know? It's a 140-mile bike race that's been split into what? Read the whole question. Half. Right? So I have two parts of this race, don't I? I have part A. Maybe I shouldn't use A. I have part 1. I just wrote it 2. I have part 1 and I have part 2, correct? Do I have a distance in part 1? How far is it?
140.
Nope. The whole race is 140.
So it's empty.
70. Do I have a distance in part 2? Yes or no? What is it? 70. Awesome. Do I have a speed in part 1? Read the question. I'll highlight the important part. I do not have a speed, do I? So since my speed is unknown, what must I give it? A letter. In the second half, what happened to my speed? Slowed down by 6 miles per hour. What math is slowed down? That same speed minus 6. Do I have a time? What does time equal? Read. Which is? Plus equals 8.5. What do we like? What do you guys like better than 8.5? 8.5, right? If we were doing this with our calculator, on a graphing calculator, we'd use 8.5, wouldn't we? But I submit you should do 17 over 2 because you know you're going to need a common denominator, aren't you? Everybody understand? Now, can we work that out? Okay. Go back and do the last 2 actual bits of work. Then we will spend 1 minute setting up these first 2 equations. Then I'm going to make you do the last 2 on your own.